Hi, my name is Kathleen Miner, founder and CEO of Hopeful Handbags Global nonprofit, and I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of different kinds of abuse. Verbal and emotional abuse. Emotional abuse often comes before physical abuse, but it's rarely discussed. Both men and women abuse each other, and they may not even know it. Emotional abuse may be hard to recognize because it can be very subtle. And because abusers often blame their victims, they may act like they have no idea why they're upset. And the person being abused may have been treated in this way in past relationships, so it's familiar and it's harder for them to recognize. Over time, the abuser will chip away at the self-esteem of the survivor, causing them to feel guilty, doubt themselves, and acquire a very unhealthy self-perception. Emotional abuse is any behavior that exploits another's vulnerability, insecurity, or character. Such behaviors includes degrading, intimidation, manipulation, brainwashing, or control of another to the detriment of that individual. This may include, but is not limited to, insulting or criticizing to undermine the survivor's self-confidence. This includes public humiliation, as well as the actual or threaten of rejection. Threatening or accusing, either directly or indirectly, with the intentional cause to cause emotional or physical harm or loss. For instance, threatening to kill the survivor, or the abuser threatening to kill themselves, or both. An abuser will sometimes use reality distorting statements or behaviors that can create confusion and insecurity in the survivor, like saying things and doing something else, or stating untrue facts as the truth. So this could be neglecting or following through on stated intentions. This can include denying the abuse occurred or telling the survivor that they're making up the abuse so that it seems like they don't know what they're talking about. It might also include like crazy making behaviors, like hiding the abuser's keys. So psychological, this kind of goes into psychological abuse where they try to make them feel crazy, which we'll go into a little bit later. They use actions and statements or gestures that attack the self-esteem, the self-worth, and the intention is to humiliate the survivor. Sometimes they may force the survivor to take drugs or alcohol, and sometimes they don't allow that survivor to practice any religious beliefs by isolating them from their friends, family, and religious community. Of course, this also goes into isolation, or using any other form of manipulation, which is disempowering to the survivor. The thing that gets confusing is that other aspects of the relationship may work well. The abuser may be loving in between abusive episodes so that the person being abused somehow forgets some of those times and the good times make up for them. Also, the abuse of emotional abuse typically takes place in private where there's no witnesses. And abusers typically want to control and dominate. It's about power and control. And they use verbal abuse to accomplish this. They are typically self-centered, impatient, unreasonable, insensitive, unforgiving, and are often jealous and very suspicious. Although the outside world does not see this side of them, to maintain control, some abusers will try to isolate the person being abused from their friends and family. Their moods can shift from fun-loving and romantic to mean-tempered and angry. Some abusers will punish with anger and others with silence, and some with both. It usually is their way or the highway. Survivors have pointed out that while the signs of physical abuse might be noticeable to friends and family members, that the effect of verbal abuse is so hard to spot and really hard to prove. Emotional scars can often take much longer to heal. Someone in an abusive relationship may not feel that leaving that situation is an option for them due to the fear of further violence, worries over how this could affect others in their life, such as their children, or they may grieve the loss of what they felt was a very special, important relationship. They may also believe that the abuse is their fault and hope that the abuser will change. If you think someone you know may be experiencing abuse, be there, listen, and don't judge. It can be really challenging to provide the right level of support without unintentionally creating distance between you and the person that you're hoping to support. Also, something to keep in mind is that many survivors feel compelled to explain or excuse an abuser's behavior because they feel like what's happening to them is their fault. It's sometimes most helpful to tell them that you're concerned about them and make sure that they know that there's help available when they're ready. If this has been helpful for you or you know someone that it will be helpful for, please share this or tag them. We can raise awareness of domestic abuse together. The more adults we get to safety, the less children that have to grow up in abusive homes. Together we are stronger, and remember, never underestimate the power of hope.
Did you stop believing you were